Nevertheless, he still had some more questions. How is it possible for one to own the stars? To whom do they belong? The businessman retorted, perjuring. I don't know. To nobody. Then they belong to me, because I was the first person to think of it. Is that all that is necessary? Certainly. When you find the diamond that belonged to nobody, it is yours. When you discover an island that belonged to nobody, it is yours. When you get the idea before anyone else, you take out the patent on it. It is yours. So with me, I own the stars because nobody else before me ever thought of owning them. Yes, that is true, said the recipient. And what do you do with them? I admit, Mr. Them, replied the businessman. I count them and recount them. It is difficult, but I am a man who is naturally interested in matters of consequence. The little prince was still not satisfied. If I own a scarf, he said, silk scarf, he said, I could put it around my neck and take it away with me. If I own a flower, I could pluck the flower and take it away with me. But you cannot pluck the stars from heaven. No, but I can put them in the bank. Whatever does that mean? That means that I will write the numbers of my stars on a little paper, and then I put this paper in a drawer and lock it with a key. And that is all. That is enough, said the businessman. It is entertaining, thought the little prince. It is rather poetic, but it is of no great consequence. On matters of consequence, the little prince had ideas which were very different from those of the grown-ups. I myself own a flower. He continued his conversation with the businessman, which I water every day. I own 3 volcanoes, which I clear out every week. It is of some use on my volcanoes, and it is of some use on my flower, that I own them. But you are no use to the stars. The businessman opened his mouth, but he found nothing to say in answer, and the little prince went away. The grown-ups are certainly altogether extraordinary, he said simply, taking to himself as he continues on his journey. The 50th planet was very strange. It was the smallest of all. There was just enough room in a one to for a street lamp and a lamplighter. The little prince was not able to reach any explanation of the use of a street lamp and a street lamper. Somewhere in the heavens, on a planet which had no people and not one house. But he said to himself, nevertheless, it may well be that this man is absurd, but he is not too absurd as the king. The conceited man, the businessman, and the typer. For the rest, his work has some meaning. When he lights his street lamp, it is as if he brought one more star to life, or one flower. When he put out his lamp, he sent the flower or the stars to sleep. That is a brief occupation. And since it is beautiful, it is truly useful. When he arrived on the planet, he respectfully saluted the lamplighter. Good morning. Why have you just put out the lamp? Put out your lamp. Those are the orders, replied the lamplighter. Good morning. What are you ordering? What are the orders? The orders are that I put out my lamp. Good evening. And he lighted his lamp again. But why had you just lighted again? Those are the orders, replied the lamplighter. I do not understand, said the little prince. There is nothing to understand, said the lamplighter. Orders are orders. Good morning. And he put out his lamp. Then he mopped his forehead with a handkerchief decorated with red squares. I follow a travel profession. In the old days, it was reasonable. I put the lamp out in the morning, then in the evening I light it again. I had the rest of the day for relaxation and the rest of the night for sleep. And the orders have been changed since that time. The orders have not been changed, said the lamplighter. That is the tragedy. From years to years, the planet has turned more rapidly and the orders have not been changed. Then what? Asked the little prince. Then the planet now makes a completely turn every minute and I no longer have a single second for rest. Once even minute I have to light my lamp and put it out. That is very funny, but they last only 1 minute. Here where you live. It is not funny at all, said the lamplighter. While he have been talking together, a month has gone by. A month? Yes, a month. 20 minutes, 30 days. Good evening. And he lighted his lamp again. As the little prince watched him, he felt that he loved this lamplighter who was so faithful to his orders. He remembered the sunset which he himself had gone to seek. In other days, merely by pulling up his chair, and he watched to help his friend. You know, he said, I can tear you away. You can rest wherever you want to. I always want to rest, said the lamplighter, for it is possible for a man to get faithful and lazy at the same time. The little prince went on with his explanation. Your planet is so small that the 3 studies will take you all the ways around it. And always in the sunshine, you need only walk along rather slowly. When you want to rest, you will walk and the day will last as long as you like. That doesn't do me much good, said the lamplighter. The one thing I love is right to sleep. Then you are unlucky, said the little prince. I am unlucky, said the lamplighter. Good morning. And he put out his lamp. That man, said the little prince to himself, as he continued further on his journey, that man would be scorned by all the others, by the king, by the consequential man, by the tipper, by the businessman. Nevertheless, he is only one of them all who does not seem to me ridiculously. Perhaps that is because he is thinking about something else beside himself. He breathed a sigh of relief and said to himself again, that man is the only one of them all whom I could have made my friend. But his planet is indeed too small. There is no room on it for two people. What the little prince did not dare confess was that he was sorry most of all the rebels this planet, because it was blessed every day with one sunsets. The sixth planet was 10 times larger than the last one. It was inhabited by the old gentleman who wrote voluminous books. Oh, look, here is an explorer, he exclaimed to himself, when he saw the little prince coming. The little prince sat down on the table and fainted a little. He had already traveled so much and so far. Where do you come from? The old gentleman said to him. What is that big book? Said the little prince. What are you doing? I am a geographer, said the old gentleman. What is a geographer? Asked the little prince. A geographer is a scholar who knows the location of all the seas, rivers, towns, mountains, and deserts. That is very interesting, said the little prince. Here at last is a man who has a real profession. And he cast a look around him at the planet of the geographer. It was the most magnificent and steady planet that he had ever seen. Your planet is very beautiful, he said. Has it any oceans? I couldn't tell you, said the geographer. Ah, the little prince was disappointed. Has it any mountains? I couldn't tell you, said the geographer. And towns and rivers and deserts? I couldn't tell you that either. But you are a geographer. Exactly, the geographer said, but I am not an explorer. I haven't a single explorer on my planet. It is not the geographer who goes out to count the towns, the rivers and mountains, and sees the oceans and the deserts. The geographer is much too important to go roving about. He does not leave his desk, but he receives the explorers in his study. He asks them questions and he notes down what they recall of their travels. And if the recollection of any one among them seems interesting to him, the geographer order an inquire into the explorer's moral character. Why is that? Because an explorer who told lies would bring disaster on the books of the geographer. So would an explorer who drank too much. Why is that? Asked the little prince. Because intoxicated men see double. Then the geographer would note down two mountains in a place where there was only one. I know someone, said the little prince, who would make a bad explorer. That is possible. Then, when the moral character of the explorer is shown to be good, an inquirer is ordered into his discover. One goes to see it? No, that would be too complicated. But one requires the explorer to finish proofs. For example, in the discovery in question, it that of a large mountain, one requires that the large stones be brought back from it. The geographer was sailing to examine excitement. But you come from far away. You are an explorer. You should describe your planet to me. And having opened his being register, the geographer sharpened his pencil. The risk of explorer are put down first in pencil. One wait until the explorer has proceeded proofs before putting them down in ink. Where, said the geographer expectantly. Oh, where I live, said the little prince. It is not very interesting. It is all so small. I have 3 volcanoes. 2 volcanoes are active and the other is extinct. But one never knows. One never knows, said the geographer. I have also a flower. We do not record flowers, said the geographer. Why is that? The flower is the most beautiful thing on my planet. We do not record them, said the geographer, because they are ephemeral. What does that mean, ephemeral? Geographies, said the geographer, are the books which of all books are most concerned with matters of consequence. They never become old-fashioned. It is very rarely that the mountain changes its position. It is very rarely that the ocean empties itself of its waters. It rides over eternal things. But extinct volcanoes may come to life again. The little prince interrupted. What does they mean, ephemeral? Whether volcanoes are extinct or alive, it comes to the same thing for us, said the geographer. The thing that matters to us is the mountains. It does not change. But what does that mean, ephemeral? Repeated the little prince, who never in his life had let go of a question. Once he had asked it. It means which is in danger or speedy disappearance. Is my flower in danger of speeding disappearance? Certainly it is. My flower is admirable, the little prince said to himself, and she has only 4 thorns to defend herself against the world, and I have left her on my planet all alone. That was his first moment of regret, but he took courage once more. What place would you advise me to visit now? He said. The planet Earth, replied the geographer. It has a good reputation. And the little prince went away, thinking of his flower. So then the seventh planet was the Earth. Seventh planet was the Earth. The Earth is not just an ordinary planet. One can count 111 kinds. 7 million geographers visit man, diverse constant man, that is so to say about grown-ups. To give you an idea of the size of the earth, I will tell you that before the invention of electricity, it was necessary to maintain over the whole of the 6 continents a variety among 4,062,500 amplifiers for the street lamps. Since from a single slight distance that would make a fitted factor. The movement of this army would be regulated like those of the words of an opera. First would come the turns of the lamplights of New Zealand and Australia, having set their lamps alight. These would go off to sleep. Next, the lamplights of China and Siberia would enter from their steps in the dance, and then they too would be waved because waved back into the wings. After the word, that would become the turn of the lamlighters of the Russia and the Indies, then those of Africa and Europe, then those of South America, then those of South America, then those of North America, and never would they make a mistake in the order of their entire upon the stage. It would be magnificent. Only the man who was in charge of a single lamp at the North Pole and his courage who was responsible for the single lamp at the South Pole, only these two would live free from toil of care. They would be busy twice a year. When one wishes to pray the wheat, he sometimes wanders a little from the trust. I have not been, although honest in what I have told you about the lamplighters, and I realize that I learned the trick of giving up false idea of our planet to those who do not know it. Man occupy a very small place upon the earth. If the 2 billion inhabitants who before its surface were all the stands upright and somewhat crowded together, essayed for some big public assembly, they could easily be found in one public square 20 million long and 20 miles wide. All humans could be paired up on a small Pacific island. The grown-ups, to be sure, will not believe you when you tell them that. They imagine that they fill a great deal of space. They pense themselves important as the baobabs. You should advise them that then to make their own calculators. They adore figures and they will praise them. But do not waste your time on the extra task. It is unnecessary. You have, I know, confidence in me. When the little prince arrived on the earth, he was very much surprised not to see any people. He was beginning to be afraid he had come to the wrong planet. When a coil of gold, the color of the moonlight, flashed across the sand. "Good evening," said the little prince crossly. "Good evening," said the snake. "What planet is that on which I have come down?" asked the little prince. This is the earth. This is Africa," the snake answered. "Ah, then there are no people on the earth. This is the desert." "There are no people on the desert." "The earth is large," said the snake. The little prince sat down on a stone and raised his eyes toward the sky. I wonder, he said, whether the stars are set right in heaven so that one day each one of us may find his own again. Look at my planet. It is right there above us. But how far away it is. It is beautiful, the snake said. What has brought you here? I have been having some trouble with the flower, said the little prince. Ah, said the snake, and they were both silent. Where are the men? The little prince at last took up and conversation again. In the little lonely in the desert. It's a little lonely in the desert. It is also lonely among men, the snake said. The little prince gazed at him for a long time. You are a funny animal, he said at last. Are you are not thinking that a figure, but I am more powerful than the figure of a king, said the snake. The little prince smiled. You are not very powerful. You haven't even any fact. You cannot even travel. I can carry you farther than any ship could take you, said the snake. We twined himself around the little prince's ankle like a golden bracelet. Whomever I touch, I send back to the earth from whence it came. The snake spoke again. But you are innocent and true, and you came from a star. The little prince made no reply. You move me to pity. You are so weak on this earth made of granite. The snake said, I can help you. Someday, if you grow too homesick for your own planet, I can. Oh, I understand you very well, said the little prince. But why do you always speak in riddles? I solved them all, said the snake, and they were both silent. The little prince crossed the desert and met with only one flower. It was a flower with three feathers, a flower of no account at all. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the flower. Where are the men? The little prince asked politely. The flower had once seen a caravan passing. Man, she echoed. I think there are 6 or 7 of them in existence. I saw them several years ago, but one never know where to find them. The wild bloom them again. They have no roots and they make their life very difficult. Goodbye, said the little prince. Goodbye, said the little flower. After that, the little prince clambered a high mountain, the only mountain he had ever known where the trace volcanoes which came up his knees, and he used the extinct volcanoes as a footstool. From a mountain as high as this one, he said to himself, I shall be able to see the whole planet on one glance, and all the people. But he saw nothing, save peaks of rocks that were shaped like needles. Good morning, he said contentedly. Good morning, answered the echo. Who are you? Said the little prince. Who are you? Who are you? Answered the echo. Be my friend. I'm all alone, he said. I'm all alone, answered the echo. What a quiet, queer planet, he thought. It is altogether dry and altogether pointed and altogether harsh and forbidden. And the people have no imitation. They repeat whatever one says to them. On my planet, I have a flower. He always was the first to speak. But it happened that after walking for a long time through sand and rocks and snow, and little Prince at last came upon a road, and all roads lead to the abode of man. Good morning, he said. He was standing before a garden, all abloom with roses. Good morning, said the roses. The little prince gazed at them. They all looked like his flower. Who are you? He demanded, thunderstruck. We are roses, said the roses said, and he was overcome with sadness. His flower had told him that she was the only one of her kind in all the universe, and here was 5,000 of them, all alike, in one single garden. He would be very much annoyed, he said to himself, if she should see that she would cut most dreadful, and she would faint that she was trying. So avoid being laughed at, and I should be obedient to pretend that I wasn't nursing her back to life. For if I did not do that to humble myself also, she would really allow herself to die. Then he went on with his reflection. I thought that I was rich, with a flower that was unique in all the world, and all I had was a common rose. A common rose and three volcanoes that come up to my knees, and one of them perhaps extinct forever. That doesn't make me a very great prince. And he lay down in the grass and cried. It was then that the fox appeared. Good morning, said the fox. Good morning, said the little prince, responded promptly, although when he turned around he saw nothing. I am right here, the voice said, under the apple tree. Who are you? Asked the little prince, and added, you are very pretty to look at.